All right, here we go, guys. Week 9, one more week, and then we're going into test week before we start cycle 5. So Monday, a little bit of a different starting or structure to Monday. We're going to still work on our overhead positioning and our strength. We're going to go like this. We're going to go 3 rounds of 5 strict press plus 5 push press, all in the first set. And you're going to do that in all in one go. So once you finish those 5 strict press, you're going to go right into 5 push presses. Um, then you're going to wait until the next 2-minute mark, and you're going to do your next set. Then it's going to be 3 strict press and 3 push press. So here you can go a little bit heavier. Your reps are going down. Instead of 10 total reps, you're going to have 6 reps there. So you can go heavier, but you will be limited by your strict press. So you should be able to do the push press unbroken, but we want to really challenge the strict press portion of it. And then set 3. So on the next 2-minute mark, you're going to do 1 strict press plus 1 push press. Once we finish that, you're just going to keep on the clock. So every 2 minutes, you're going to go into set 1 again, then set 2, and then set 3, and then one more time going through that. And the goal is that first kind of round can be a little bit lighter. Second round is going to be a little heavier. And then that last round is going to be the most challenging. Now, there's a ton of reps in here, so it's going to be more targeting hypertrophy. So this is where we're kind of inducing more muscle building instead of just the coordination of the muscles and working on kind of pure strength. So expect to feel that fatigue in the shoulders, especially when you're done these 3 rounds. But then you've got the stimulus of the workout or the first part. Going into the workout, this is where we're going to kind of get more of that endurance stimulus. So we got a 10-minute AMRAP, pretty straightforward, 4 and 4 single arm dumbbell push press. So 4 dumbbell push presses on one arm, then 4 on the other. Grab the dumbbell and you're going to go into 6 dumbbell squats. So you can hold it any way you like. And then 12 dumbbell Russian twists. And this will be with the same dumbbell. So I'll include that weight there too as well. So that would be the workout there. So you're basically trying to cycle through this somewhere around 4 to 6 rounds on average. I would probably say people are going to be more in that 5 to 6 if I'm kind of estimating this. But this is going to be a good test of your midline strength because the dumbbell push presses are going to really kind of challenge your lateral motion. Dumbbell squats is going to really force us to stay nice and upright. And then we got that Russian twist where it's going to make us rotate from side to side. So you're going to have to be nice and tight in those positions. So in the 10 minutes, expect that midline to be taxed. Your shoulders will be taxed too as well, just naturally from holding the dumbbell in those various positions. But that midline is going to be the key thing to today. Tuesday's workout to follow up. We got our skill work this time, 2 minutes on of max double unders we're practicing and then 1 minute off. So we're kind of approaching that test week. So I'm getting you guys a little bit more prepared of what to expect for the following week. So 3 rounds there. Again, if you have double unders, do them. If not, you get to practice for those 2 minutes and keep track of how many reps you do. And then once we're done that, we got a nice long kind of endurance cardio / workout here. So very straightforward, 3 rounds, 1,500 meter row for the guys, 1,200 for the ladies, and then a 400 meter run. The idea is to just sit into a nice steady pace that's not too challenging where you're going to burn out early. It's just below that where you can sustain it for all 3 rounds. So I would probably go into that first round just kind of testing the waters and see kind of how it feels. And then slowly ramp up that pace. That 3rd round should be kind of at that hardest pace because you're going to be finished when you're done that last 400 meters. So we are going to be testing something related to rowing next week. You guys might remember what it was from the beginning of the cycle. So we're getting ourselves prepared for that as well today. But take today as a endurance stimulus. So we want to be just moving consistently for the entire time or for the entire time that it takes us to finish 3 rounds. When we're done Tuesday, going into our next day, we're going to go to our skill work, a little bit different. Every 90 seconds for 10 rounds, you're going to do 1 power snatch plus 1 squat snatch or 1 power snatch plus an overhead squat. This could be also 2 alternating overhead lunges as well. So I'll just make that specific there, just so we're all on the same page. So the idea here is to develop that skill of the snatch and getting into that squat position. So this first variation is going to be more challenging. So if you have the mobility of the technique, then it makes sense to kind of work on it. You could still do these from a high hang or a hang position. If you're struggling with the overhead positioning and especially getting into the squat, then focus on a power position and then just add the overhead squat after you finish standing up out of your power snatch. Take your time with that and just like make sure you get into the right positions, nice slow tempo on the way down. Let your body kind of get used to it before you kind of start to add more dynamic speed to that. So in the 10 minutes or in the 10 rounds, if it feels good, you can add some more weight. But really just make sure you nail down the technique. And this is going to help us with this power snatch, squat, snatch combo. It's going to help us meet the bar at the right spot. So depending on where we catch it in the power snatch, this is also kind of where we want to meet it when we're doing the squat snatch as well. So it's going to force us to work on getting underneath the bar and not letting the bar kind of crash on us. It's going to allow us to find that exact spot where we should be doing the turnover. So that's going to be the focus more on that if you are doing the first variation. Then our workout, a little bit different than what you guys are used to. 2 rounds for this one, and it's for time. We got 50 alternating dumbbell snatches, and you're going to alternate every 5 reps. So you're going to do 5 on the left arm, 5 on the right arm, 5 on the left arm, 5 on the right arm. Just keep doing that until you get 50 done. Then you're going to go 1 minute rest, and then 25 burpees, 1 minute rest, and then do it all over again. So it's going to be more of a sprinting style workout. So you're going to try to push the pace on each one. If you can push yourself to go unbroken for those 50, that'd be awesome. And then those burpees, you really kind of want to push real hard. But remember, you got 2 rounds. So I would leave that speed of where you sell your soul kind of speed at the end there. So the last round, when you get to the 25 burpees, that's where you want to really push it and just sprint it as much as you can, because you know you're going to be done after that. So we're going to be testing more of that sprint endurance today than the long, slow kind of what we did yesterday. So expect to really kind of feel the lungs burn, the legs burn, that lactic acid feeling to come up. Then you know you're in the right zones there. Going into our Thursday, so complete opposite of the Wednesday, where we're going to work more on the cardiovascular endurance and our recovery. This one's 5 rounds for time and for reps. So this is how it works. You're going to do 1 minute, as many calories as possible on the assault bike. And then when you're done that, you're going to go 20 sit-ups, 50 single skips, 20 walking lunges, lunging steps, and then 50 single skips before you go back on the bike again. Now, you don't need to rush to get on the bike. You can get on the bike whenever you want, but your score is going to be related to how many calories you get on the bike. So you can pace the sit-ups, the skips, and the lunges out so that you can allow your body to rest, so you can get the most out of every minute of that bike. So think about that when you're doing this workout. So a little bit of strategy. That's why I put the stimulus that there's some recovery involved. So how you recover and get back into that max calorie bike is going to be important, because it's not just only about how fast you get this done, it's also how much work you get done. So there's going to be a little bit of balance of those two. Going into Friday's workout, we got our deadlift work. Same idea as you guys have seen. 5-3-1s, 3 rounds of that. So a set of 5, a set of 3, and a set of 1, and you do 3 total rounds of that. Give yourself like some rest in between. You can do them touch and go. And the round 1 is going to be a 7 out of 10. Round 2 is going to be 8 out of 10. And then round 3 is going to be kind of the heaviest. And we have 20 minutes to kind of work through that. So we're building posterior chain and leg strength. So a lot of the backside of our body is being trained with with this movement. And it feels good. Like I said, like go up in weight. If not, just like get your technique down, get the hinging mechanics right before you start loading more and more, so that you're putting the forces and the loads in the right spots, so that you can have the best mechanical advantage over this movement. Going into the workout with that, 10 minutes, single arm farmer's carry, 100 meters. So you're going to hold on to the kettlebell on one arm, and you're going to go for a 100-meter walk, come back, 6 wall walks. then 100 meters again, then 5, 100 meters, 4, all the way down to 1. So we're testing upper body stamina. The grip, holding the kettlebell, plus the wall walks are going to start to challenge the upper body, especially in the first couple sets. Those are pretty big sets, the 6s and the 5s. So when you go into this, like the ideal is like we're moving for the whole time. There's no time to kind of waste either. So we want to really push it. And I would say like try to get into the 3s or 2s in this workout, or if you can get it done, amazing. But 10 minutes, we're pushing hard. We're doing as much as we can. This should be a weight where we can get this 100 meters done, but it's going to be challenging to do that. If you want to switch halfway, you can do that. But definitely try to make this done fairly unbroken without breaking more than 2 times. If you're breaking 2 times, let's say just to switch, that's cool. But if you're doing it like 3 or 4 times, then it's probably too heavy and you won't get too far in this workout today. So upper body stamina is going to be kind of that focus for the workout. Then going into Saturday, we got 5 rounds. You guys have seen this interval style before. 3 minutes on, 15 wall balls, 15 box jumps, and then max calories on the rower on the remaining time. And then we're going to rest 3 minutes. So in those 5 rounds, we're trying to make it as repeatable as possible. So whatever we get on the rower on that first round, let's try to match that across the 5 rounds. It's a good way to help you kind of focus on the stimulus of endurance. If we're just trying to max out every single time, we're going to see a depletion or a drop in the number of reps. And we're going to lose our form, lose our technique. So we're not really building endurance there. We want to be able to sustain the form, sustain the movement patterns, and output the same amount every round. So there's a balance that we need to find. I would always go into stuff like this at a kind of 7 out of 10 in the beginning, and then adjust my pace based on kind of how it feels and what my body's feeling. So ideas to be repeatable from one round to another, or consistent with your reps on the rower. And then lastly, Sunday's workout, partner WOD. We got this for time, 5 minutes, accumulating the top of the deadlift with 185, 125, 5 minutes hanging from the bar, and then 5 minutes plank hold. Every time you break, we're going to do a 200-foot sled push before we jump back on any of these implements. So the workout is done once you finish your last 5-minute plank hold, then you're done the workout. So start with the deadlifts, then go into the hang, and then we're going to go into the plank hold. And then once you're done, you'll finish the workout from there. So once you finish your last plank, you don't need to do another sled push. It's just done at that point, and you can accumulate these times with your partners. So that's the end of the week there. Next week, we'll talk about test week, and then we're going to go into a brand new cycle to take us to the end of the year. See you guys later.